It's been a hot second since we've talked about Sam Bankman-Fried, and for whatever reason, this FTX stuff really tickles your guys' fancy. Even the older stuff that I put out after his surprise indictment and subsequent jailing, it's like, why is this stuff doing so well? So I would be absolutely stupid if I didn't want to follow up on this stuff. So because there's been some developments and some very obvious ones at that, well, might as well catch up with our old moth-topped money launderer, shall we? Sam Bankman-Fried won't contest extradition to the U.S. Maybe I'll be able to get a vegan diet in jail over there. Yeah, you're going to get better treatment. I'm just going to wonder also if the security cameras are going to be fully functioning at all times, okay? On the $1.8 billion FTX crypto fraud charges as prosecutors probe firm's political donations. Yeah, very interesting because we got some information on all of that stuff as well. Very, very funny. Very funny. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried has backtracked on his decision to challenge his extradition from the Bahamas to the United States to face fraud charges, probably because he got a postcard from the Clinton Foundation and is like awaiting your arrival, and they're like, no, just keep me here. I don't care if it's a hellhole. It will appear in court in the Bahamas on Monday. Oh, cool. So tomorrow we'll get an announcement on this stuff. Great. To announce his decision, according to the report, the cryptocurrency mogul was indicted in federal court in Manhattan. Oh, Lordy. If he's going to be held in Manhattan, I'm pretty sure that's where Epstein was handled. On December 13th. What the fuck? Oh, right. No, that's when the indictment went out. I'm looking at the time and I was like, no, it's the 18th. And we're talking about, anyways, my mistake. Don't worry about me. I'm just a kindly gentleman with a microphone, just meandering through his thoughts. I'm glad you're here to see my descent into madness. His decision to consent to extradition would pave the way for him to appear in the United States court to face charges of using stolen customer deposits to pay for expenses and debts and to make investments on behalf of a crypto hedge fund, Alameda Research. Very, very funny. Okay, so him, SBF, being the head of FTX, the following acronyms, obviously. This will make a hell of a lot more sense. So he's getting indicted, even though there was another half of this that was equally as culpable, but we'll get to that very, very shortly. I just want to follow this up by, hopefully he doesn't get that Epstein cell. I'm just saying, SBF's parents are staying in the Bahamas. Fears his legal fees will wipe them out. Wow, can't afford anything, but this motherfucker has $8 billion that's unaccounted for. So his parents, who are also very wealthy, one is a professor at Stanford, and the other one has worked with the United States government on and off for several decades. Very interesting. It's just going to wipe them out. I gotta press X to doubt on that, but let's see the rationale behind this. Law professor parents of disgraced FTX boss Sam Bankman-Fried reportedly fear the family will go broke in paying for its defense against mounting litigation. Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried. Oof, God, that sucks. You guys have been married for how long and she didn't take your last name? Oh well. Both well-known figures at Stanford University have stayed with their ex-billionaire son. He's still their son, and he's still a billionaire, if you know where to look, in the Bahamas for more than a month as he faces a firestorm over FTX's sudden collapse. The parents have told friends that their son's legal bills will likely wipe them out financially. Yeah, but how much are they going to be on the hook for if he's at the end of a rope? Just wondering. Oh, I'm sorry, bed sheets or something totally within his own control, and definitely doesn't happen when the guards aren't looking and cameras are off. We hope this gives us some wisdom, Bankman recently said, according to those sources at the Wall Street Journal, apparently. Otherwise, it would be too hard to take. A spokesperson for Bankman-Fried's parents, that's nice. Oh, it's going to wipe us out. We don't have the money for this. But through a spokesman, reportedly declined to say whether they are actively advising their son on legal matters. They're both law professors. Of course they are. He grew up in the system. He was molded by it, born into it. But if you guys are hard up for donations and hard up for money, just hit up these 16 Democrats who have like thousands and thousands of dollars, okay? Oh, but they aren't going to give that back. fucking hilarious. 16 Democrats refused to return FTX donations to failed cryptocurrency exchange because, of course, many Democrats have rushed to offload FTX donations from the failed cryptocurrency exchange since former CEO Samuel, we're going to use proper names on this one, Samuel Bankman-Fried, was charged this week for violating campaign finance laws. Wait a minute! Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX executives donated $70 million. He doesn't have that much money, okay? He's trying to make that much money to political campaigns in the last 18 months. Open Secrets estimated, according to disclosures, Bankman-Fried personally donated $40 million to left-wing initiatives. Some Democrats have refused to return the money to FTX and had instead donated or planned to donate it to charity. I plan to donate it. Are you going to pledge to donate it? We get to run that back before the end of the year. Love to see it. Donations to charity do not eliminate any potential claims of fraud, however. Of course. A bankruptcy trustee could still ask that the donations made by FTX donors be returned, and courts determined Bankman-Fried and other FTX executives committed fraud. Yeah, just because you're putting it to a good position, okay, or using it for a good reason, doesn't mean that you're not, even through 2 degrees of separation, donating somebody else's money. I'm just saying, man. So these political actors just want the headlines and tax write-offs because, let's be completely honest, of donating money to charity only for some evil judge to just pull it from a poor, needy kid's hands. It's like, we know exactly what you're doing. Just fucking stop it. So who are these crooks anyways? Attorney Ellison believes the major factor in whether politicians will have money to return the money is based on if fraud or fraudulent intent was a part of FTX's downfall. Spoiler, it was. Bankruptcy courts will likely have the ultimate say in the matter. Of course they will. Given that donating the FTX funds to charity does not eliminate any potential claims of fraud, campaign finance attorney Brett Capel told the AP on Friday it would be prudent for Democrats to reserve or earmark the money given the high likelihood of bankruptcy receivers will be seeking their return. Yep, yeah, man. He got a Fed indictment, okay? This isn't no state case, okay? This is done and dusted. All that's left is the crying and hair pulling. According to media reports, Democrats who have chosen to donate FTX contributions instead of returning them to the failed exchange are election denier. Hakeem Jeffries. How adorable. You're going to notice a consistent theme through this list right here. But we got a late addition here just in a second. Spoilers. Pete Aguilar. Cory Spartacus Booker. This could be your Spartacus moment there, fucking kooky eyes. Joe Manchin, fucking bitch. Debbie Stabenow, Senator-elect Peter Welk. Oh, nice. Josh Gottenheimer, Salud Karabal, Joe Neguse. Joe Neguse. Josh Harder. That's what his boyfriend says. Kim Schreier, Richie Torres, Tina Smith, Alex Padilla, Dick Durbin, Shui Garcia. How adorable. On Tuesday, U.S. prosecutors charged Bankman-Fried for violating campaign finance laws, according to an 8-count indictment, and a lot of money laundering as well. Joe Biden, I think his campaign received specifically $2 million and change. So yeah, man, that sucks. But don't worry, it's just not a one-party problem right here. You got, well, actually, it's definitely a uniparty problem. Dan Crenshaw not returning donations from FTX executive. Do they have it detailed how much money he received from them? $2,900 from, Ryan Salam, the FTX executive, who is in charge of sprinkling around cash to the Republican side. It's funny who they target, but yeah, just take a look at the balance. Oh, cool. We actually got some names on this one. Bankman-Fried gave $40 million to Democrat candidates. Salam gave $23 million to Republicans. Other Texas politicians who have not disclosed their plans for FTX-affiliated donations include Ronnie Jackson, Michael Burgess, Henry Couillard. Oh, hey, another Democrat. And Representative-elect Jasmine Crockett. Last month, fucking mouth-breathing beta announced that he would be returning the $1 million donation that Bankman-Fried donated to his campaign. Oh, okay, so he's putting it back directly. Okay. He's like, can you just go ahead and earmark it into the future? If I want to run once again to fail at the state level, maybe perhaps that would be great. Fucking dork. O'Rourke's camp did not confirm whether it returned a $100,000 contribution it received from FTX Director of Engineering Nishad Singh. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with Bankman-Fried, and we already spent that money, so fuck you, bye. No refunds. So yeah, we know where all the money went, so obviously the hoes are going to start flipping. It was like, it was as obvious as the day is long. Because of all of the people that had a say in this entire situation, why is Samuel the only one getting charged with anything? And why did it take so long that he was out there on the interview circuit to all of a sudden get snatched up by the federal government? Oh, because the feds were trying to flip some people. Case in point, Carolyn Ellison. Yeah, his girlfriend flipped on him because guess what? The money started to run out, and she seen her future just disappearing right in front of her eyes, and her very, very large, very meth-riddled eyes. And then decided to, well, do as any good girlfriend would do. Flip like a motherfucker. You'll love to see it. And this is the problem, man. You can't be friends and you can't do business, and it always plays itself out, okay? Don't do business with guys who are bad with money, and don't do business with guys who are bad with women. It always ends fucking poorly. Case in point, it couldn't be more fucking blatant than with this story. Sam Bankman-Fried's reported ex-girlfriend was likely among the people to turn on him and help prosecutors build their fast-moving fraud case in the epic $8 billion plus collapse of FTX cryptocurrency exchange, a former U.S. government lawyer said Wednesday. Well, I could have fucking told you that, okay? You didn't see an indictment with her name on it? Yeah, she's going to be on the witness list if this goes to trial, if they don't figure out some sort of a plea deal where he can go sit in Club Fed for a minute to think about his problems. Carolyn Ellison, 28, is a key figure in the case that she was a one-time CEO of Alameda Research. You know, the place that was being puppeted in order to use the excess FTX funds in order to gamble and use them as a hedge fund in order to create profits for Bankman-Fried and extrapolation Carolyn Ellison as well. It's unbelievable. She would have among the greatest incentives to cooperate. Yeah, because she's been caught red-handed. And she was the CEO of the company that was being puppeted by Bankman-Fried. So it's like, okay, either cooperate or you're also staring down the barrel of a 3-digit prison stint. But yes, she has the greatest incentives to cooperate, as it was seemingly likely that in his effort to exculpate himself, Bankman-Fried would try to finger her. Pause. We're trying to keep this PG. Former Security and Exchange Commission lawyer Howard Fincher told the Post. Fincher said the speed of the indictment and the breadth of the charges against Bankman-Fried meant someone relatively senior is cooperating with the federal authorities in exchange for leniency in their own potential misconduct. Yep, she'll get a sweetheart deal. Maybe, you're just 28 years old. You didn't know what you were doing. You were just being influenced by a shady man. Okay, you were in love. You were taken advantage of. I already know how this shit is going. Or at least that, hey man, if I was running the interrogation, that's how that shit would have been going, okay? I would have definitely been playing. I would have been trying to sell her a dream in order to get her to flip on him. Try to flip her with that tactic, or have her try that on the stand when you're trying to indict her to a grand jury who probably sees their daughter, their granddaughter sitting there up on the stand being like, oh yeah, we know that she's very highly influenceable and we can't send her to jail during her most precious of years. Meanwhile, this dude will just, rot in a jail cell until there's somebody with the initials HRC coming down for a visit. But yes, it is possible Bankman-Fried's publicity tour, in which he repeatedly disclaimed either knowledge of or responsibility for mishandling or thefts of customer assets, spurred senior officials to fear that he would specifically blame them. Fucking called it. I fucking called it. Yay! I'm so glad I'm right. I should just get my JD off rip like that. Often it was the first first to the table gets the most lenient treatment. That's always how that shit works. They just go ahead and they bring in for questioning all of the top people that's up there, and it's like, listen, all you motherfuckers are guilty as shit. First person to have their name on this document gets the best plea deal, and then we'll just go in descending order. So figured that shit out. Otherwise, everybody's going away for 100 fucking years. See you later. That's how that shit would have went down, okay? Because it's just a bunch of fucking nerds, okay? A bunch of people that just sweatily sit at a keyboard, punching away, seeing how they can milk and work the system when they're not too busy rolling over top of each other. I don't want to think about it with these atrocities, but that's what was happening in their own words. Myra Penza, oy vey, a former federal prosecutor for the Eastern District of New York, added that someone like Ellison would have a clear incentive to cooperate. For someone like I won't do that. Who was in SBF's inner circle and who had already publicly implicated herself, there's a strong incentive to cooperate early. Wow, thanks. You said a lot there, but you didn't really add anything new. It is not unheard of in the Southern District of New York, corrupt as fuck, for people to cooperate and who would have otherwise been facing a decade or more in prison. Well, you know what? If she was complicit in all the actions of Bankman-Fried, even though we know that for the exact same crimes, women serve 66% less time in prison, yeah, but just continue to whine and complain about my pay gap. Double standards legitimately, on a balance, benefit women more than they cause them headaches. It might be controversial, but it's fucking true. Manhattan U.S. Attorney Damian Williams revealed Tuesday some of Bankman-Fried's alleged accomplices had flipped on him, saying to anyone who participated in wrongdoing at FTX or Alameda Research and who has not yet come forward, I would strongly encourage you come see us before we come to you. Yeah, that's the type of tough talk that leads me to believe that everybody was put into a room, given the opportunity to fucking flip or face the consequences. Hey man, it's just, you see this stuff more often than not. You understand the thought process of the people that are out there in their own fucking words. You can call this shit, okay? Just like Babe Ruth calling a shot. Your boy was on this a day fucking one, so I'll be following this trial whenever it eventually does happen or any developments that are going to be out there. I just want to know that that guy's going to get himself a good vegan dinner after the hearing on Monday. So we'll know more then, probably, maybe, potentially. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.